You're not waiting for the right time. You're waiting for permission. And guess what? That permission is never coming. Let me ask you something honest. How many times have you said this to yourself? I'll start when I'm ready. Or maybe, let me just learn a little more first. Or my personal favorite, it's not the right time yet. Yeah, I know that feeling. And if you're sitting here watching this right now, chances are, some version of that thought is living in your head rent-free. Here's the thing nobody tells you. The thought, that I'll start when I'm ready feeling, it doesn't feel like fear. It feels like wisdom. It feels like preparation. It feels like you're being responsible, careful, smart. But it's not. It's a trap. A beautiful, convincing, totally believable trap. See, our brain is wired to protect us. That's its whole job. And starting something new, a business, a YouTube channel, a fitness journey, a new skill, that feels dangerous to the brain. Because there's a chance of failure. There's a chance of embarrassment. There's a chance you put your heart into something and it doesn't work. And so your brain says, not yet. Let's wait. And you listen, because it sounds logical. But here's what nobody tells you about waiting. Waiting doesn't make you more ready. Waiting makes you more afraid. Every day you don't start, the idea gets heavier. The gap between where you are and where you want to be feels wider. The story you tell yourself gets louder. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe it's too late. Maybe someone already did it better. That's not preparation. That's slow surrender. Think about it like this. Imagine someone standing at the edge of a pool, trying to learn how to swim. They read every book about swimming. They watch videos. They know the theory. They know the strokes. They know the breathing technique. But they never get in the water. Will they ever learn? No. Because swimming isn't learned at the edge. It's learned in the water. And life? Life is the same. You don't get ready to start. You start, and that makes you ready. Here's something wild that most people don't know. The moment you start something, even imperfectly, your brain physically changes. Not metaphorically. Not motivationally. Literally, neurologically. There's something called the Zygarnik effect. A Russian psychologist discovered it in the 1920s. She noticed that waiters in a cafe could remember every detail of orders they hadn't delivered yet, but the moment the order was done, they forgot it almost instantly. But because the brain puts unfinished tasks on active mode. It keeps thinking about them. It keeps problem solving in the background. It wants to close the loop. The moment you take that first small step, writing the first sentence, recording the first clip, sending the first email, your brain locks in. It goes into completion mode. It starts working for you, not against you. But if you never start, the brain never activates. It just keeps generating doubt. And here's something even more powerful. Most people believe confidence works like this. First I feel confident, then I act. But the truth, backed by psychology, is the complete opposite. You act first. Confidence comes after. You don't feel brave and then jump. You jump, and then you feel brave. So many of us are sitting around waiting for confidence to show up before we move. But confidence doesn't show up at the door. Confidence shows up on the road. You don't need to be great to start, but you need to start to become great. Now let's get practical. 3 rules. Clean and simple. Rule number 1. The 70% rule. This actually comes from the military. The idea is, if you have about 70% of the information you think you need, make the move. Waiting for 100% means the window already closed. You don't need perfect skill. You don't need the perfect setup. Know enough. Start. Learn the rest while moving. Rule number 2, shrink the start. Most people don't start because they're imagining the whole mountain. But you don't climb a mountain in one step. So shrink it. Don't say, I'm going to start my YouTube channel. Say, I'm going to record one 60-second video today. Don't say, I'm going to write a book. Say, I'm going to write 1 paragraph right now. The start doesn't have to be big. It just has to be real. Rule number 3, embrace the ugly first draft. Every great thing started ugly. The first version of Facebook looked like a school project. The first iPhone prototype was a mess. The first draft of every best-selling novel? Terrible. But it existed. And because it existed, it could be improved. You can't edit nothing. So let it be ugly. Let it be rough. Let it be incomplete. Just let it exist. Let me tell you about Sarah Blakely, founder of Spanx, the world's youngest self-made female billionaire at the time. But here's what people don't show you in the highlight reel. When Sarah had the idea for Spanx, she was 27 years old. She was selling fax machines door to door in Florida. No fashion experience. No business degree. No connections. No investors. She had $5,000 in savings. That was it. She drove to fabric stores and tested prototypes in her apartment. She cut the feet off her pantyhose before an event and realized her idea actually worked. She wrote the patent herself after reading a book from Barnes & Noble. She knocked on doors until one person believed in her. And here's the most powerful part. She kept her day job selling fax machines for a full year while building Spanx. Not because she wasn't committed, because she wasn't ready to quit, but she was ready to start. Neiman Marcus took the call. Then Oprah named Spanx one of her favorite things. And the rest is history. Sarah once said her dad used to ask her every week, "What did you fail at this week?" And if she had nothing to say, he was disappointed. Because trying and failing meant she was moving. She didn't start because she was ready. She started because she decided waiting was more dangerous than beginning. And now, let me tell you about a man who was told he didn't have what it takes. Walt Disney. When Walt was 22, he started an animation company. It went bankrupt. He lost everything. He moved to Hollywood with $40 in his pocket and a cardboard suitcase. Nobody hired him. He couldn't get work as an actor either. Then he created Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. It became popular. And then his business partner stole the rights. Stole the character. Took most of his animators with him. Walt was left with nothing. Again. Most people would quit. Most people would say, "This is the universe telling me something. I'm not ready." Walt did something different. On the train ride home, the very day he found out he lost everything, Walt Disney picked up a pencil. And right there, in that moment of total loss, he drew a new character. A little mouse. He called him Mortimer. His wife suggested Mickey instead. Mickey Mouse was born at Walt Disney's lowest point. He didn't know it would work. He had no guarantees. He wasn't ready in anyone else's definition of the word. But he started. And from that imperfect, uncertain, not ready beginning, came Disneyland, Disney World, and one of the most powerful entertainment companies in human history. Walt Disney didn't start when conditions were perfect. He started when conditions were impossible. And that, right there, is the rule of start before you're ready in its most powerful form. So let me bring this home. You've been waiting. I know you have. We all have. Waiting for the right skills, the right time, the right setup, the right version of yourself that finally feels ready. But Sarah didn't wait. Walt didn't wait. And they didn't start because everything was perfect. They started because they understood one truth. Ready is a feeling that comes after the action, not before. So whatever you've been putting off, that video, that business, that course, that first step, make one move today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be real. Because your journey doesn't start when you're ready. It starts when you decide. And if this kind of thinking is what you're into, psychology, brain habits, the science of motivation and how your mind actually works, then you're exactly where you're supposed to be. This channel, Mind Sketchbook, exists for one reason. To help you understand your own mind better. Because when you understand your mind, you can change it. And when you change your mind, you change everything. New videos drop regularly, each one built around real psychology, real stories, and real tools you can use. So if this video gave you even one thing, hit that subscribe button. Because the next one? It might be the one that completely rewires how you think. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of your mind.